Good morning, everybody. Hi, how are you? I hope all is well. You know, I woke up really great today. We did an Instacart early this morning. Well, he drives Miss Daisy, and that's it. I do the Instacart. He drives Miss Daisy. So, anyway, which is really kind of it's nice. It kind of gets us out of the house for a while. Well, welcome to Margaret's Kitchen, Comidas de mi Familia, my authentic New Mexico cookbook. I just love my cookbook. I just feel so blessed to have it and stuff. But anyways, I'm going to make some Huevos Rancheros and some Pappas fritas. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start peeling my papitas. And then I'm going to throw them in the, put them in the grease and start frying them. And then I'm going to make some masa so that I can make a little bit of tortillas. We don't have no bread this morning. Oh, it's just fine. I mean, I like tortillas. Like I say, I always like making tortillas. But anyway, so I hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad that you guys, the ones that have already seen my video from yesterday, thank you for the early birthday wishes, and just thank you for being a part of my channel and just a part of my family. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to, so I'm going to fry our eggs and then do our vegetables and, some lettuce, tomatoes, and onion, some queso. I love cheese and stuff. So the cheese that I have, I had already mixed some green onions in it because I had it left over from something else that I had made. So that's already done. So I don't really have to do much with that. And, so it'll be good. So anyways, but I saw, I was seeing my video and I said, oh shoot, I look like hell in that video. I looked terrible yesterday. At least I can admit that I look bad, Anyways, so yeah, we delivered it Instacart this morning and I went to take it and it was just onions, onions and bell peppers. And so anyways, it was for this vegetarian restaurant and stuff. So that's what I did this morning. And then, I just said, it's got to get home and make something to, make some breakfast and do some other things, And so, but anyway, so good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's doing good. I really do. I pray every day, I pray. I do good every day, let me tell you. Because it's been, like I said, life has been a trip, And I always say about being nice. Got to be nice, people. Got to be nice. Let things go. Oh my gosh. You see people all the time and it's like, oh my God. And then today, I have to tell you what happened. So we're at the supermarket and, it's a Hispanic supermarket, Mexican supermarket actually. It's called El Super. And, anyways, and so what happened is there is this lady in there in pajamas, in flannel plaid pajamas. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Because I remember like our grandmothers and stuff, the most you would see them running around is with their rollers, and that was only on Saturdays because they'd have their rollers on, for church the next day. And that was only on Saturdays. But I don't know what it is. Why don't people want to get dressed? It's terrible, I'm like, my goodness, we're supposed to be that example. And what kind of an example are we teaching our young? When we don't teach them how to, our girls, our daughters, what are we doing to these girls that we don't teach them to get dressed every day, to put your makeup on? You don't have to feel good, but at least you can put your makeup on. Get up, get dressed, put your makeup on, and you can do well, I mean, your day, at least put your makeup on and get dressed. My goodness. And then people don't realize that you're wearing your house slippers to the grocery store or wherever you decide to wear your chopos at. Well, people get sick on the parking lots. They spit, they do everything. I mean, we've seen it all. I mean, oh my gosh. And then you take your house slippers home or your pajamas, you're in your pajamas, and then you guys go to bed. That's nasty. You know, then we wonder why we're so sick all the time. So you know what? Get up, get dressed, put your makeup on, and put your good shoes on. And my goodness, you know, let's teach our children, our grandchildren, that, you know, to look nice, you know. It's like, I remember growing up, and if there was a wedding, or mostly weddings, you know, at that time, mostly weddings, that you'd go to. And everybody, all the men would be wearing coat and tie, you know, a tie, a jacket and a tie, a suit. You know, their Sunday best. Their Sunday best was, oh my God, beautiful, you know. You didn't see people going to parties in shorts or jeans or anything like that. People would go to church and they'd have a coat and tie. The one thing I can say, I have a brother-in-law, my sister Velma's husband. And you know, when he goes to church or he goes anywhere, he always wears a suit. You know, if he's going to a wedding or no matter where he goes, you know, from the day we met him, he's always been like that. He goes to church on Sundays and he's wearing a coat and tie. You know, he always looks nice. I mean, you know, that's how it should be. Now, Dios mío, some people. But anyways, I'm not talking bad about people or nothing like that. I'm just saying that we got to start taking pride in ourselves. Take pride. I remember growing up, they would say that if the yard looked terrible, that was because the men weren't doing their job. If the house looked terrible inside, that meant the women weren't doing their job, you know, because that's how it was back then, you know, and stuff. And I still believe that. I still believe that my house is a reflection of me. And my family is a reflection of me. So if I don't tell my husband, hey, don't wear that, that looks terrible, you know, then what am I doing? You know, I'm not showing him that, you know, that I care or whatever by letting him go out all garriento, you know. So sometimes he gets annoyed with me because I do that, you know. Oh yeah, this is how. Look at the Pappas. I cut them lazy today. These are what I call lazy potatoes. My mom would make us what we call lazy potatoes when she wasn't going to dice them, you know, really pretty. She would call these lazy potatoes, but she would cut them lengthwise. She wouldn't cut them long. She would cut them this way rather than this way, you know, to long ways. And so, anyways, that's what Mom would do. So we loved them. Oh my God, we thought it was such a treat to have lazy potatoes. And so anyways, but I'm cutting them, I cut them the other way. Cut them, what is it? Long way, short way, whatever. Anyways, but you saw how I cut them. So anyways, you can only put a little at a time in there, but it's all good. So you know what, I'm gonna put this over here so that way when I'm done, I have my little bowl so that I can put the papitas in. And then, but what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make some masa. I'm going to make a little bit of tortillas. Just a little bit. I made some last night and for dinner. And then Mijitos got in from Dallas, so from their little vacation. And my Logan's 13th birthday trip to go see the Falcons play Dallas Cowboys. And so anyways, my spalda, my baking powder. And so anyways, I just got a handful. Isn't that terrible? Fingerful. But anyways, and then, so the tortillas I had left, I actually made dinner also for them and Victoria and Zachary and whatnot. So that's my salt. So anyways, so that was, so Mijitos were so happy that they had dinner to come home to. And we get my hot water and then my my shortening. I use Crisco. No, Crisco doesn't pay me to say their name, but I'm just telling you what I use. You know, I'm just telling you what I use. I don't get paid for saying the names of where I go and what I do or nothing like that. Maybe one day, you know. I don't mind advertising for things that I like, right? And but anyway, so then what I do is I just mix it all up. You just mix, mix, mix. Making sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So anyways, but yeah, you know, I've always said that, you know, I always say my husband is a reflection of me and I'm a reflection of him. So if we don't encourage each other to always, you know, do the right things, look good, you know, just encourage each other. That's what I always do, you know. I feel that way. See what I'm doing? Just breaking it all down into my flour. And like I say, sometimes I'll emulsify the shortening in the hot water, and it kind of gives it this like head start, I call it, you know. But I don't know, just I do something different. But since this is how I have it in the cookbook, I want it to. That's why I'm doing it this way. And then until you don't feel it no more, you don't feel that. Look at how smooth it is. And I like to make bread too. I like to make rolls, pero que bárbaro, me los como todo. I'll end up eating them all, you know. It's nuts, but I do. I end up eating them all. So, more than what I should, right? Look, how perfect. See? And then, my wet napkin, I'm going to move this. I just have get my 2 cups of water. Bueno, look at the 2 cups of agua. Let me check my papitas. To make sure that they're tostaditos. I'll show them to you guys in a second. But anyway, so yeah, that's, I tell you, just chitter chatter about everything. Okay, so then I kind of make a hole in the middle a little bit, you know, and I just squish around. Sometimes it needs more water, sometimes it doesn't. It just, everything always depends, ¿verdad? I think it's sometimes the altitude. Oh, so anyways, when I'm making enchiladas, we just do the raw onions, and that's because, you know, if we're making them rolled into a casserole, well, the thing about that is that I feel that the onions cook in there when you're putting them in the oven and stuff. And so, but if you're making stuffed enchiladas, you can very well saute your onions. Somebody had asked me that, you know, how would I do it? You know what? I would just put a little bit of, just a little tiny bit, like a tablespoon of oil, whatever oil you want to use, whatever suits you. And so anyways, that's what I would do. And then just let them until they're to your liking, how you want them. You know, how soft and tender or al dente that you want them. That's always up to you. But that's what I would do, you know, and then put them into your enchiladas if, you know, you don't like that raw. I love the onions, so I just, like today, my cheese already is mixed. I'll put it in a bowl and you can see some of the green onions in there. And so I won't add no more onions. ¿Pa qué? Why bother? Why am I gonna, you know, dice another onion? It's just him and I, you know, having our breakfast today, so it's all good. Look at this. Ooh. My masa. And I didn't even use all the water. Look at that. So it always depends. I don't know. It just depends. And then I just massage it and massage it, knead it. I just knead it and knead it until it's not sticky anymore. And then you just make sure you incorporate it all, you know. And then that's all that I do, you know. And you know, it's funny because one of my grandmothers, my grandma Em, I talk about her a lot because we live next door to her. So you know, so I saw more of what she would do. So after she was done masandoing, she'd get the manteca, she'd get the morel, and you know, she'd put it in her hands like this, like kind of like a lotion, like you're putting lotion on your hands. And then she would, when she was done kneading the dough, masandoing it, then she would, you know, put manteca on her dough. And you know, that's the only thing, I never asked her why she did that. You know, I'm just not sure why she really would do that. So that's a question I can't even answer because I never asked her, and I can kick myself for not asking certain questions. And if my mom, I'm sure she doesn't know either, you know, so I've never really asked her about that, why my grandmother, her mother-in-law would do that. But my grandma always did that, you know. But the one thing I noticed, that when she would do her dough like that, her tortillas were, oh, she made good tortillas. But the second that they would get, that, you know, that they were cold, or the next day, estaban duritas, you know, they would get hard. You get my, you know, they would get hard. And so, you know, they weren't, you couldn't fold them, they weren't pliable, you know. And so, you know, that's one thing I had noticed, you know, growing up. And so, I'm not sure. Ah, that's done. Now cover it, let it rest, and then we're gonna look at them and let you see the papitas. See, they're bien tostaditos. And then I have some chili. And you know when the papas are like this and then you have the chili, oh my God. And you know what? This is actually bacon grease because I say I have a grease camp. So I just used whatever grease I had to fry them. Yummo. See? So that's what I do. I don't want them to be together like that, so taking them apart. There. Aren't those look good? That's the chili I made last night. It's going to be perfect. And then I'm going to do some chorizo. I got the chorizo right there. So I might just do like, did you see my big old face? Okay, now what I'm going to do, chop up my lettuce and my tomato. Rinse that. Got my eggs. And the chorizo I'll wait for a little while. So I always use this like a serrated steak knife. I love this knife for my tomatoes. I don't know why. I just like it, you know. That's batalla, you know. So your tomatoes don't smash when you're cutting them. Especially if your knife is dull. And my knives are dull. I'm going to have to figure something out about how I can get them sharpened. You know, a good sharpen. You know, my dad used to sharpen my knives. All our knives, actually. My mom's knives, my knives. I don't know if he did my sister's or not. But, you know, he would do mine because I would ask him when he would come over. He'd sharpen my knives. So I just make little cubes, see? And you'll see I'll use the same pan for everything, to fry eggs, to you name it. And I think today, well, no, because I'm going to make huevos rancheros, so with chorizo on the side. And I love chorizo. Yum! Oh. And I find huevos rancheros to be such an easy meal. And this is my way. You know, some people do their huevos rancheros different, and it's all good. You know, I don't, you know, that's all on you, none, you know, whatever. It doesn't bother me none. This is my way of making them, and that's it. You know, it's just the way I make them. I'm going to wipe this, and then get my other bowl for the queso. Just a minute. For the cheese. And it's such a quick meal. And fíjate que I'll end up using all of this. There's a piece that needs to be shredded. Okay. And then the onion, the lettuce. I'm going to turn my pappas a little bit. Oh, these are looking so good. Okay. And I'll do and I had already washed this because I used it, so. Next time, it's just same knife for everything else. See? Quick. I tell you, huevos rancheros are a quick meal, you know. Yep, ya acabamos. So these are all ready. Okay, that's complete. With this. Okay, that's done. So there's the lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese, queso. And it has green onions in it, so I'm not going to chop any more onions. Okay, and then I have my corn tortillas. And I use the yellow corn tortillas. I use either the Bueno or the Albuquerque tortilla. They're my favorite. So I use either one. So anyways, here's my platito for the tortillas. So I put this because that way when I'm ready to fry the tortillas, I have my plate ready with, you know, to drain that part of the grease. Oh, I love it like this. See, and then sometimes what I'll do, let me show you guys. Let me show you. You're going to love this. So sometimes, see, I'll make them tostaditos like the one on to your left or your right, and then the ones that are in the pan. And then I mix them all together because, oh my gosh, yum. So once those are complete, then I'll put the chorizo in. And I think I'll just put the chorizo in a different pan. because I like to mix up the color. Ah. And you would think it'd be greasy, but they're not. Yum. Blasted it in. I dropped one on the floor. Let me throw it. Ah. And do I go through paper towels? Yes, I do. And the chili will be, as nice and warm from the stove, from warming it up from yesterday. And then the chorizo, what I'm going to do before we begin, I'm going to use this board here. That's it. We have favorite boards. This is my favorite board. And chorizo, it looks like it's a lot, but it really isn't. So what I'm going to do is, you got to peel the casing from it. But this is my favorite chorizo. One of my favorite ones. And it's not a lot because it... So usually what I do is I just kind of slice it down the middle. See? And I peel it. See? That's how I do it. And slice it all the way down. It's good, huh? I love this. Look at this. Yum! See? And I only defrost them very little so that way it's easier when you're peeling the casing off. It's a lot easier. And I try to cook them when they're, whole. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's all good. Wash my hands. I spend the time washing my hands. I'm going to go raw. Okay, so these papas are just about complete. They're almost done. And then what I'm going to do is empty some of this oil. And then I'm going to do the tortillas right away. I'm going to get the salt. Because then I'll put the salt in it, in the papas when they're all complete. Now I'll put a little bit of the salt, and just kind of swish them. There. I'm going to put these in the oven. And then, what I'm going to do is work on my tortillas real quick. And I'm only doing 4 tortillas. We get the 4 out. This over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. See how nice they are? So I just put them in just for a second. Just enough to basically wet them. I turn them. And that's all I do. And these tortillas don't fall apart. I just put them in for a second. I turn them. And then I take them off. Drop it. That's it. So these are ready for the, see? So now, I'm going to do the chorizo. This is my grease can, so I'm going to pour most of this grease in the can. And it cleans it out, see, at the same time. I poured it all in. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, my chorizo, I'm just going to put it in here like this. In here. Try to keep them as whole as possible. There, that's done. And then, wash my hands again, and I gotta start with my tortillas. One more time. Okay, so now I put a lid on the chorizo. I'm going to turn the fire down just a little bit because I want it to cook low and slow. Not too fast because I don't want it to burn the rest of burn. There was a chunk in here that wasn't shredded, so I'm just going to shred it real quick. And then we'll start the tortillas. There. That's just a little chunk. Okay. So now, I love cheese. Oh, I'm going to get slack for that one. So anyways, here's my masa. Make my little dough balls. My bolitas. And I've seen everybody makes their dough balls different. I don't know. So I don't know. This is how I do them. Yay! About 13. Baker's dozen. Yep. Yeah, this is perfect. See, just make it like, start with the round one. I'm going to mix them just a little bit. Oh yeah. really nice. See, you turn them. And then, you know, some of them will fall, you know, will break, I should say. Let me show it to you. See, I just turned them. So I'm gonna put the lid back on them. And they cook nice like that. Okay. Now, for the tortillas. The feast of resistance. You know, my grandma used to, I don't know, some people know how to turn it through with the rolling pin. I don't. I just, you know, and I never turn it to the wet side. I always leave it on the dry side. Always. And then I put the wet side down, and then I turn it. Let me get my tortilla. My cousin Frances made this for me in California. She made these for me. I love it. She's a heck of a seamstress. She used to do things that lady makes. Ooh, nice! Ooh. Get the butter. Gotta have butter. Perfect. Nice, huh? Okay. Whew. Everything's coming along. I'm so excited. I mean, it's like my tortillas look amazing. Look at this. Look at how good they look. Love my tortillas. Yesterday, I have to tell everybody what happened yesterday. So I was making the tortillas yesterday, and I have my baking powder, my powdered sugar, my salt, my sugar, and flour in my silver containers on my butcher block. And I was too busy, I don't know, in a funk yesterday that I didn't snap what I had done. Well, when making my tortillas, I noticed that they were coming, that the dough was beautiful, everything turned out beautiful, but as they were cooking, I thought, what on earth is going on with my tortillas? They never look like that, because I can make some beautiful tortillas. Well, anyways, it turned out that instead of baking powder, I put powdered sugar for the baking powder. So my tortillas looked shiny, I should say. And I was kind of laughing at myself because I'm like, oh my God, I've never have done that. And then I realized what I had done. So crazy me, right? So anyways, that's what happened. But look how beautiful they are today. Beautiful, beautiful. And but yeah, laughing at myself because I put powdered sugar in place of the baking powder and stuff. So I was just like, oh my God, I told you guys I was in a funk. So I'm really excited. That's what I was also, that's why I wanted to make tortillas today. I thought, oh no, I can't lose my touch. So see, I'm a normal person. I'm not here for a beauty contest. I'm not here for anything like that. I am a normal person. I love to cook. Like I said yesterday, I would love to hit 200,000, 10,000 subscribers and everything else. I would love it. You know, I would love to hit the gold, what is it, that plaque and the silver plaque and the bronze plaque from YouTube. But, you know, it's all in God's timing. Everything is God. You know, it's all in God's timing. But I was just laughing at myself when I did that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the chorizo. But I do put a paper towel on the bottom because chorizo is as everybody knows, is very, very greasy. You know, but let me take my tortilla off. And put the last one on. And then we got to just fry our eggs and ready to rock and roll. Let me bring you close so you could see what I'm doing. Okay, so anyway, so here's the chorizo, and it cooks nice. I love to cook it this way. You know, if you notice, you don't see chorizo at a lot of restaurants because it's difficult to cook. And they fall apart, and most of the time it's, you know, look. So I try to keep them as, you know, together as much as possible. That's a come. I only thaw them halfway. So anyway, so let me get that there so that I can put it in my bowl. And I'm going to take it out the same way. As careful as possible. And so look, see? Just lay them in there. Let me get my tortilla. Let me do something real quick before I finish removing it. So I take my tortilla pan off, put it in the oven, so I can put my egg pan. I'm gonna put that on low, as low as I could. So anyways, my Pappas are in the oven. Remember, I keep them there just to keep them warm. So see, look. Just try to take them out as careful as possible. So that's a come when you go to restaurants, like, you know, Mexican restaurants or New Mexico restaurants or, you know, restaurants that offer chorizo. That's why they always say only in scrambled eggs, because it's hard to keep them together. So that's the reason. So no other reason. That one looks nice, see? So that one's done. I'll put these in the oven just to stay warm. I'm going to empty this grease in the trash. Now I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to start with frying our eggs. So then, what I'm going to do, I don't have a sous chef, so it's all me, guys. It's all me. So anyways, so I have my plate and the eggs. So I put the eggs in. See? And I like to buy the jumbo eggs. That's the ones I always buy. So that's just me. I like the jumbo eggs. Put these on the counter. Bring my plate close. So on here, I'm going to put 2 tortillas to the side. Like that. And then on here I'm going to put the cheese and onions. because the cheese is mixed with the onions. And then I put the eggs on top. See? Move me over here a little bit. So as you can tell, it's the cheese and the green onion is in here on the plate. And here's the chili. Nice and hot still. Let me get these out. Then turn them over. The Pappas. Let me get the little spatula. I get my eggs on top of the cheese, and then I get my chili. On top like that. I'm gonna get some Pappas. And I'm gonna get a couple of pieces of the chorizo. Okay. Then I'm going to move this over here so I can show you the last of what I do. Okay. And then I'll put a little bit more cheese on top. Then I'll put a little bit of lettuce. Then I'll put some tomates, tomatoes. And then your tortilla. And this is my chorizo and eggs with my huevos rancheros and my fresh tortillas. Isn't that beautiful? Yum. You guys are amazing. I just want to thank you so much for joining me today in this beautiful breakfast. I can hardly wait to just dig into it, which I'm going to get a piece of the carnita. And then the chorizo. Oh my God. I love it. I love to eat. You can tell. But anyways, thank you all for joining me. I truly, truly appreciate it. For you coming into Margaret's Kitchen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't forget, order my New Mexico cookbook, my authentic New Mexico cookbook. Comidas de mi familia, tu sangre es tu sangre. Everyone that's pre-ordering on my website, www.nmcookbookmariabaca.com, you are getting a special Christmas gift with your order. So just everyone that's pre-ordering, okay? Okay, thanks guys, and thank you for coming in again. And oh my God, I love you all. God bless you. Don't forget, be nice. Be nice to people. It doesn't hurt to be nice. I love you all. God bless you. Buen provecho. Go out and make it a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.